Think you can trust your brain? I mean, it's up there being all squishy and thinking for you all day. Seems pretty trustworthy, but get this. Your brain is kind of a master illusionist. It constantly interprets the world around you, and sometimes it takes some pretty wild shortcuts. In this video, we're diving deep into the wacky world of perception and exploring 4 ways your brain might be leading you astray. We're talking blind spots, auditory illusions, and even a little something called the rubber hand illusion, which is exactly as weird as it sounds. So, buckle up, brain explorers, because things are about to get a little weird. Let's kick things off with a classic, the blind spot. It's something we all have, yet most of us rarely think about it. We all have one in each eye. That's right, each eye, where the optic nerve does its whole nerve thing. This spot is where the optic nerve exits the eye and heads to the brain, creating a small area with no photoreceptor cells. The weird part? We don't see a big, gaping hole in our vision. You'd think having a blind spot would be a major inconvenience, but it's not. That's because our brains are like, don't worry, fam, I got this. The brain is incredibly adept at filling in the gaps in our vision. It takes information from the surrounding area and just fills in the gap, like a really good photo editor. Imagine having a personal Photoshop running in your head 24/7. To prove it, there's a classic experiment you can try. It's simple, yet it perfectly demonstrates how your brain compensates for the blind spot. All you need is a piece of paper and a pen. Draw a small dot on one side and a cross on the other. I'm going to put some instructions on the screen right now. Follow these steps carefully to see the magic happen. Go ahead, pause the video and try it out. Hold the paper at arm's length, close one eye, and focus on the cross while slowly moving the paper closer. Pretty wild, right? Your brain just invented part of the world. It seamlessly filled in the blind spot with surrounding details, making it appear as if there's no gap at all. This phenomenon is a testament to the brain's incredible ability to process and interpret visual information. It constantly works behind the scenes to ensure we have a smooth and continuous visual experience. Think about it the next time you're admiring a beautiful painting or taking in a scenic view. Your brain is hard at work, making sure you see the world in all its glory, without any interruptions. Even when you're reading a book, your brain is filling in the gaps, ensuring that the text appears seamless and uninterrupted. It's fascinating to consider how much of our perception is constructed by the brain. We often take our vision for granted, but it's a complex and dynamic process. So the next time you're looking at something, remember that your brain is doing a lot more than just receiving visual information. It's actively creating a coherent picture of the world around you. See you later, blind spot. Thanks to our amazing brains, we can enjoy a seamless and uninterrupted view of the world. Alright, let's move on to something even weirder. The McGurk Effect. This one proves that your senses aren't just hanging out in isolation booths in your head, they actually influence each other. In the McGurk Effect, you hear a sound like BA, but if you watch a video of someone mouthing the syllable FA at the same time, your brain gets all confused. It tries to reconcile the conflicting information and ends up hearing FA, even though the original sound was BA. It's like your brain is saying, well, the mouth is saying FA, so it must be FA, right? Nope, brain, wrong. But it goes to show how powerful visual cues are in shaping our perception of the world. Change blindness. You won't believe your eyes. Prepare to be amazed as we dive into the fascinating world of change blindness, a phenomenon that will make you question just how much you really see. Ever been so focused on something that you miss something obvious happening right in front of you? It's a common experience, and it happens to the best of us. Imagine you're deeply engrossed in a book or a task, and someone walks by wearing a bright red hat. You might not even notice them. This isn't just a lapse in attention, it's a cognitive phenomenon known as change blindness. Like, you're watching a movie and completely miss the fact that the main character's shirt changed color. This isn't just a minor detail, it's a significant change that your brain somehow overlooks. It's as if your mind is playing tricks on you, making you question your own perception. That's change blindness, my friends, and it's another example of your brain being surprisingly bad at multitasking. Our brains are incredible machines, capable of processing vast amounts of information, but they have their limits. When we try to do too many things at once, our brain's ability to notice changes diminishes significantly. Our brains are constantly bombarded with information, and it's impossible to process everything. Imagine walking down a busy street with people, cars, and signs all vying for your attention. Your brain has to filter out the noise and focus on what's important, like avoiding obstacles or finding your way. So it focuses on what it deems important and filters out the rest. This selective attention is crucial for our survival, but it comes with a trade-off. By filtering out what it considers unimportant, our brain can miss significant changes in our environment. This is usually a good thing, but it also means we can miss some pretty big changes if we're not paying close attention. For instance, you might not notice if a friend changes their hairstyle or if a new building pops up on your daily commute. These changes can be quite obvious in hindsight, but in the moment, they slip right past us. There's a famous experiment where researchers asked people to count how many times a basketball is passed between players in a video. This task requires intense focus, and participants are so engrossed in counting that they miss other elements in the scene. While they're busy counting, a person in a gorilla suit walks right through the middle of the screen. It's not a subtle appearance. The gorilla is right there in plain sight. Yet most people are so focused on the task at hand that they don't see it. And guess what? Most people don't even notice. When the experiment is over and the participants are shown the video again, they're often shocked and amused to see the gorilla they completely missed. This experiment highlights just how selective our attention can be and how easily we can overlook the obvious. Change blindness isn't just a quirky trick of the mind, it has real-world implications. For example, in high-stakes environments like air traffic control or medical surgery, missing a critical change can have serious consequences. Understanding how and why change blindness occurs can help us develop strategies to mitigate its effects. One way to combat change blindness is through mindfulness and focused attention. By training our brains to be more aware of our surroundings, we can improve our ability to notice changes. This doesn't mean we can eliminate change blindness entirely, but we can certainly reduce its impact. Another approach is to create environments that minimize distractions and enhance important cues. In workplaces, for instance, clear communication and visual aids can help ensure that critical information isn't overlooked. By understanding the limitations of our perception, we can design better systems and processes. So the next time you find yourself missing something obvious, don't be too hard on yourself. Remember that change blindness is a natural part of how our brains work. Embrace the mystery of your mind and stay curious about the incredible ways it shapes your perception of the world. Stay tuned for more fascinating insights into the quirks of the human brain. Until next time, keep your eyes open and your mind sharp. You never know what you might be missing. The rubber hand illusion. This one gets weird. Alright folks, get ready for the grand finale of brain trickery, the rubber hand illusion. This is one of the most fascinating and mind-bending experiments in the field of psychology and neuroscience. It's a demonstration that will make you question the very nature of your own body and how your brain perceives it. This one is seriously wild. Imagine sitting at a table and in front of you is a rubber hand that looks eerily similar to your own. You know it's not real, but soon, your brain will start to play tricks on you. In this experiment, a participant's real hand is hidden from view and a realistic rubber hand is placed in front of them. The setup is simple yet incredibly effective. The participant's real hand is concealed behind a screen or under a table, while the rubber hand is positioned in a way that it appears to be their own. Then, both the real hand and the rubber hand are stroked simultaneously with a brush. The strokes are synchronized perfectly, creating a unified sensory experience. The participant sees the brush moving on the rubber hand while feeling the same sensation on their hidden real hand. Here's where it gets crazy. After a while, people start to feel like the rubber hand is their own. This phenomenon occurs because the brain integrates the visual and tactile information, leading to the illusion that the rubber hand is part of their body. They even report feeling sensations in the rubber hand when it's touched or threatened. For instance, if someone pretends to harm the rubber hand, the participant might flinch or react as if their real hand is in danger. This reaction is a testament to how convincingly the brain can be fooled. This illusion highlights the incredible plasticity of our brains and how easily our sense of self can be manipulated. Brain scans show that the areas responsible for processing sensory information and body ownership are highly adaptable. This adaptability is what allows the brain to accept the rubber hand as part of the body, even though it logically knows it's not. It's a little creepy, but also super cool. The rubber hand illusion not only provides insight into how our brains construct our sense of self, but also has practical implications. Understanding this phenomenon can help in developing better prosthetics for amputees, as it shows how the brain can be trained to accept artificial limbs as part of the body. So, next time you see a rubber hand, remember that your brain is capable of some truly astonishing feats. Your Brain Master Illusionist. So there you have it, 4 mind-bending examples of how your brain plays tricks on you. But hey, don't feel too bad. It's all part of how our brains make sense of this crazy, complex world. Now, for a little interactive fun, I challenge you to find a simple optical illusion online and share your experience in the comments below. Did your brain fall for it? Let me know.